Hey, good morning. It's Thursday, March 26th. So thankful to have some time to spend with you all today and have some discuss some everyday thoughts together. One thing that we can say that's happened in these last several weeks is that we've been humbled. Whether we've been humbled as a nation, as a church, as individuals, we've been humbled. Our leaders have been humbled. Our our relationships with other people have been humbled. We have been restricted in ways that we never thought possible by something we can't see. Nebuchadnezzar, after his time of God, humbling him, he had this to say at the end of his summation about, his experience with God's working in his life and humbling him. He had this to say. He said, "Those who walk in pride, he is able to humble." That kind of blew him away about God. And, that's something that ought to blow us away as well. If we walk in pride, God is able and will humble us in his way and in his time, but he will humble us. So the question I have, the thought that I want us to consider today for, this everyday thought is, how can we be humble? How can we respond to God's humbling of us? See, he's shown us that we have to depend on him for everything. We are just as dependent on him right now. It's very clear to us about government shutting everything down and we're not having the options that we did. It's very clear to us now of restrictions, and we're dependent on God. But you see, we're just as dependent upon him now as we were 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 5 months ago, and as we will 5 months into the future. We are dependent upon God. Those who walk in pride, he is able to humble. Pride means that I do my things my way instead of God's way. It means I have a better plan than God. So I don't let his word define everything that I am and what I need to go. I do that. That's called pride. So why don't you look at an area of your life right now so we can learn from this common experience we all have. Pick an area of your life where you realize God has shown you that he's humbled you. And then begin to take steps to go forward in humility and embrace him. You see, living in humility is not living in weakness. Living in humility is living in power, because that means I'm living in God's way instead of my way, and that's where we need to be. So think about that today. Let that turn over in your mind and realize God has humbled us. How are we going to respond in humility to God's good care for us right now? Thanks so much for being here, and I'll be back tomorrow. You have a great day, and get in touch if you want to. But Lord bless, and be humble. Bye-bye.